scar. It's from the night everything changed. I need you to.
The night was cold, the wind biting, when Eleanor heard the groan outside her cabin door. She opened it to find a man slumped against the step, his shirt soaked with blood, his face pale as moonlight. She dragged him inside without a second thought, her hands already reaching for bandages and whiskey. He was tall, broad-shouldered, with hands that looked like they had worked hard all his life. She cut away his shirt and found a bullet wound, deep but clean, and she worked through the night to save him. When dawn came, he was still breathing, and she sat back, exhausted, wondering who she had let into her home. He woke 2 days later, his eyes wary, his body too weak to move. She fed him broth, changed his bandages, asked no questions. He watched her with the silence of a man who had learned not to trust, and she accepted it because she had secrets too. Weeks passed, and he grew stronger. He called himself Jack, nothing more, and she did not press. He helped her around the small homestead, mending fences, chopping wood, moving with a quiet grace that made her forget, sometimes, that he was running from something. She found herself telling him things she had never told anyone about the husband who had been killed by land grabbers, about the practice she had been forced to leave behind. He listened without judgment, and in his silence, she found a kind of peace she had not known she needed. One evening, she saw the wanted poster on the table, the one she had picked up in town. The face on it was his reward of $5,000, dead or alive. He did not deny it. "They call me the ghost," he said, "because I was good at disappearing." She should have been afraid, should have ridden for the sheriff. Instead, she folded the poster and tucked it away. "You saved my life," she said. He shook his head. "You saved mine first." She looked at him, at the man behind the legend, and something shifted between them. That night, a rider came, one of the bounty hunters who had been tracking him for months. Eleanor faced him alone on the porch, her voice steady, her hand hidden behind her back. "There's no one here but me," she said, and the man rode on, not knowing he had been moments from meeting her pistol. She told Jack what she had done, and for the first time, she saw something other than caution in his eyes. He reached out and touched her face, his fingers light against her skin. "Why would you risk everything for me?" She did not answer with words. The weeks turned into months, and the wanted posters began to fade from the town walls. Jack became a part of her life, a steady presence she had stopped imagining a future without. But the past has a way of finding those who hide, and theirs was about to catch up. A man in a fine suit rode into the valley one afternoon, his horse gleaming, his manner too polished for a frontier town. He asked at the general store for Dr. Eleanor Hayes, the name she had buried years ago. She knew then that her secret was no longer safe. She had fled after her husband's death, leaving behind a family who blamed her for his murder, a fortune she had refused, and a name that carried too much weight. The man in the suit was her brother-in-law, come to force her back, to claim what he believed was his. Jack saw the fear in her face and stood between her and the visitor. "She's not going anywhere," he said, his voice low, his hand resting on the revolver at his hip. The man smiled, cold and knowing. "I'm not here to take her. I'm here to offer a deal." The deal was simple. Eleanor would return and sign over her inheritance, or the man would expose Jack's identity to every lawman in the territory. She stood in the doorway, her heart breaking, and looked at the man she had come to love. "I'll go," she said. Jack grabbed her arm, his eyes fierce. "No, there has to be another way." But she shook her head. "If he turns you in, they'll hang you. I won't let that happen." She turned to leave, and something in him cracked open. He stopped her with a single word. "Wait." He pulled a folded paper from his coat, a document he had carried for years. "I'm not an outlaw," he said quietly. "I'm a marshal. I went undercover to bring down a ring of land thieves. Your brother-in-law was their leader." She stared at him, the truth settling like light after a storm. He had been hunting the men who killed her husband, had found her by chance, had stayed because he could not leave her alone. "I never lied to hurt you," he said. "I was protecting my mission. But now I'm protecting you." The man in the suit tried to run, but Jack was faster. He had been waiting for this moment, had gathered evidence for months. Within a week, the land thieves were in custody, and Eleanor's name was cleared. She stood beside Jack as the town cheered, and she finally understood why he had come. That evening, they sat on her porch, the stars bright overhead. He took her hand, his thumb tracing the lines of her palm. "I have to go back," he said. "My work is done here." Her heart sank, but before she could speak, he smiled. "Unless you'll come with me. As my wife." She said yes before he finished asking, and the next spring they were married on the same porch where she had found him bleeding. The wanted posters were gone, the past buried, and in its place was a future they had built together. She had saved a dying stranger, and he had given her back everything she had lost.